Diggin It with Eric Richey is brought to you by Range Fit, the hydration your body deserves. White Sands Beach Volleyball Complex and Seeger Sandbar. H-Worth Elevator Service, serving Louisiana and Mississippi. K. Miller Gem and Jewelry, specializing in loose gemstone and fine custom-made jewelry. And by Allstate agent Greg Bravata. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Diggin' It with Eric Richey. So glad you're with us. Again, we've got you covered with high school, collegiate volleyball, and beach. In high school, we're going to join head coach Taylor Richey, who's going to really like seeing this week's Power 25, and again, previewing the Mount Carmel Dominican game as well. Also, collegiately, we're going to go way up north in Louisiana to talk to Ben Kaszeta, the first-year head coach at Northwestern State. He's going through a storm on the court. This team is 1-19 this season, but he's done an amazing job of keeping the players staying the course. On the beach level, we're going to check in with the UNO Beach team that also has a new first-year coach. Paul Boron has that story, and we'll get to our milestones and commitments, a bunch of milestones to get to. But we start, as always, with our high school volleyball segment, brought to you by Greg Bravata, Allstate agent offering auto, home, life, and retirement. And of course, Range Fit, the hydration your body needs, strategically placed here in the Diggin' It with Eric Richey studios. Along with my daughter, Emma, we've got Mount Carmel theme for this week's show, getting ready for the pink game, and their head coach, Taylor Richey. Range Fit, though, powders and packets. Trust me, you're going to want to check it out. If you get a chance, follow the commercial and the lead to Range Fit. You get a discount if you mention that you saw it on Diggin' It. Okay, high school volleyball, the big tournament this weekend was at the Hannan Volleyball Classic. Hannan, one of the newest affiliates for VSN, so we live streamed everything on Court 1 on Saturday, talking about some of the top teams in the state, right? St. Thomas More, Hannan, Dominican, Fontainebleau. There were so many great teams there, big upsets, and we take you all the way to the championship round right now. Saturday highlights from the Hannan Volleyball Classic starts with Mandeville knocking off St. Thomas More in 3 sets.
There, there's a pass from Reese. That's a great job. Julia Marengo got up high to set that one and fed Addison.
That one nice.
Yeah. Oh, that found the corner. What a great shot by Addison Hunter. Serve Kinsley plays that one. Julia's going to set Soraya in the middle. She tips corner. That's in. That's a great spot. Soraya seeing the court well.
We haven't been given perfect lineups right now yet. Nice
That's a great shot. Again, good pass. Was that Brooke Fridge on the pass there? Serve receive. Julia puts it right up to Soraya. Julia sets Farah.
Nice spot.
Eleanor Guidry's there to Morgan, and it's out. Mandeville takes the set, 25-22. And they're pretty happy about that. Set point here. Nice floater serve. Virginia handles that well. It's going to go back out to Virginia. She hits a beauty down the line. That's a great shot.
I'll get it. We're
St.
going
Thomas
to 3
More
here.
Taking a set. Back to Mallory. She hits a beauty down the line, off the slide.
Yeah, she's had 2 of those slides so far today.
Side to Virginia. Reese with another dig. Julia outside to Farah, and she
Nice,
takes
another
off
one.
the block.
I'm telling you. These freshmen, impressive today for Mandeville.
It's in the middle, and nobody's there. A little miscommunication from Mandeville. Gives St. Thomas More a chance, and Marble is going to put it away. That's Marble Crochet. Mandeville with a break. They're up 3 with Kinsley Wyndham back to serve.
Nice
Good
serve.
short serve. That's a
Big ace. Big ace by Kinsley right there.
also sets outside to Grace.
Oh,
Eleanor
nice dig
Guidry
again.
with another big dig. Virginia Blanchard a cut shot. Alyssa's got it. Outside to Grace. Off the block and down for a kill for Grace Piatoli. Unbelievable what a day she's having. St. Thomas More is going to play the middle.
That's
and
it.
it's a misconnection.
Wow, what a game.
And Mandeville takes the match against St. Thomas More. What an upset. Great job by the skippers. They put the pressure on the whole time.
Because that's a great team. They know how to win. And I was really proud that we didn't shut down. We battled, we competed, we stayed confident, and but didn't get flustered. We really kept our composure throughout that whole match. And that showed that I was really proud of that growth, because we haven't seen that. We haven't been tested in that way yet this year a whole lot, and so that was good to see him step up in that moment. That's absolutely a little feather in our cap, you know, and hopefully can give us some confidence moving forward as we continue through district play and one more tournament throughout the rest of our season.
Mandeville now with a win over Vanderbilt would advance to the semifinals, but the Terriers had great fight. Morgan Shakesnyder with the kill, and this one was headed to a third set. How about 6'2" sophomore middle Addison Hunter with the kill, and it's Mandeville winning set 3, 15-11. So the final four was set. Yes, Mandeville facing Dominican, with Hannan squaring off with Fountain Blue.
Emma blocks it again. We're going to go back outside. This time Goldie's going to
Beautiful
throw it
shot.
down for the tip.
Really pretty shot right there.
That's a great shot. Alyssa Howell serving for Fountain Blue. It's a good pass from Avery and Josie to Goldie.
Goldie
and
with
that's
another one.
Another kill. Ava Furman there for the pass. Bree sets to Marley, and Marley with a hammer skims Avery Lewis's arms, but Marley for the kill. Runs there to dig that. Sarah's going to set the middle to Marley, and the freshman wins it this time.
That's it. Yeah, Aubrey's up for the
That's a
challenge.
great block. Serves right at Avery. Josie's going to send it outside to Jillian.
Nice.
Jillian tools the block. That's a great shot. They gave her line, and she just sent it right off the block.
Yeah, Hannan will take the first set, 25-19.
It's at line, but Ava's there. Josie goes to, catches him in transition, and kill for Josie Pappenbaum. Sarah Hickman back to Marley, off the block. Avery makes a great block. Josie finds Bailey, and it's in for the kill for Beverly. What a dig from Avery Lewis.
Lily her serve can give defenders trouble.
Goes right back at her.
Oh, in the seam.
Splits the gap. 2 aces
Really nice.
in a row here for the senior. Avery passes to Josie, one-hand set to the freshman. She hits it over the block. Wow, that's a great shot by the freshman Aubrey Deere. Hitting high hands there to win the match for Hannan.
Aubrey Etheridge on that one.
On the other court, Rachel Schullenkamp's team showing more fight. Soraya Amirjabi, this girl's gonna be a problem, people. Just a sophomore, another big game here. And what a setter dunk from Julia Marengo. Beautiful play. But Dominican gets big games from their top players, like Rainey Smith, who put on a one-person block party, Mally Mahoney with the beautiful left-handed line shot, and Molly Baker with the short serve to perfection. Dominican takes it in straight sets, 25-17, 25-16, and it was Dominican and Hannan playing in the finals.
And Aurora in the passing lanes. Goes at Aubrey Dalton. Aubrey Dalton with a nice pass. Inside ball to Rainey, straight down.
Yeah.
Tough ball. Mally Mahoney's there, pushing the ball outside in the gap now, and there's a good dig.
Marley with another one.
Oh, that was a dump by Aubrey Etheridge. Whoa, I like it. They're going to back Goldie up anyway. All right, and there's an ace. 25-20. And then Josie finds Bailey. Josie with the block on Mally Mahoney. Josie takes the first ball, which takes Bailey out, and now Josie's going to swing. Nice ball down the line. Great job. Good set by Avery Lewis. Are they going outside? Yes, you hit the split here. So you got 2 hitters. Gives it a little bit of advantage to the defense. Avery reads it perfectly. Josie goes to Bailey. Bailey hits the gap to the one zone. All cylinders for Bailey and Josie right now on that rotation. Let's see, is that Bankson with the pass? Josie throws deep.
Nice
what a
spot.
play. That's a great pass. Outside the Bird. Bird gets blocked by Didier. And Hannan can do no wrong right now. Hannan side, right side to Mally Mahoney, no surprise. Down the line, great dig by Avery Lewis, also no surprise. A hard cross ball for Aubrey. She did a good job putting it back in play. Molly Baker pushes the ball outside. Hadley with the dig. Lily Oakley is right there. Hadley with the swing, sorry. Good ball by Jillian over the block in the middle of the court. That was a nice swing by Hadley, but Lily Obies went up there and made a nice dig. Now you got Hadley playing middle, Mally playing outside, slide from Bailey down the line. I think they were up looking for the tip. Mally Mahoney with a good pass, high deep middle ball. Bailey lets it go by choice, and we're going third. Nice serve. Avery Lewis is right there. Goes slide to Bailey again, and she whips it back across down in the gap even. Like she could have gone line or seam or middle. She chose middle right there. Great swing. Good ball outside to Mally. Good dig by Bankston. Josie outside to Goldie. Goldie off the top of the block, and that's a kill. Well, well played. The net, and then Bird just pushes it over, going slide to Bailey again, down the line, and it's there. Joe's doing a good job dishing it up, and Hannan's kicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, they got that. They got the slide working for sure. That's 19 kills now for Bailey.
B tip or something. That trying to hit that is really tough, and then you follow it up with a
Beautiful
zero pass,
serve.
also known as a ace serve by Aurora. Hadley with the short tip. Grace is there.
Really nice
this
dig right there.
This is going to be middle. Oh, I'll tell you what. That's a big swing by Hazel Roots. Good job back there. Another good serve. Good pass. And that's a great tip, but Goldie is there. Nice dunk by Molly Baker, but Goldie was all over it. Look at Aubrey Deary showing up. Big moment.
Deary with the big kill.
Aurora gets the ball over. That's a good ball to the middle.
Aubrey Etheridge with her 8th kill of the match.
That's going to be outside to Hadley. Hadley goes over to block. Goldie's there. Josie going to shoot it. Nope. Josie finds Goldie. Goldie with the throw off the block, and that ball is out, and that is great.
Man, that was nice.
It feels great. I am just super proud of these girls. They played pretty consistent all weekend, which is a big deal for us since we've been struggling with that. But they played great. Like you said, they played at a very high level, very confident, and we communicated the whole weekend, and it showed. The back row was good, the front row was good. Everybody in every position did a great job of just doing their part, doing their job.
It was a pretty good weekend for us, and even in the championship, even though things didn't go the way that we expected them to go or that we wanted them to go, I do think we made some steps. Playing against Hannan is always a great match for us. In a lot of ways, we got better from this weekend. We got to play Fontainebleau, who's also another great team. So this is a great tournament just to keep us in what our philosophy is, play all the good teams.
Today, really, like STM and Dominican winning against them, that was huge for us. I think it's our breakthrough moment for this season. It's later than usual, but I'm really proud of us. I think the setting was great. Josie was on fire. Bailey, insane. And I think we passed better too.
Mallory Mahoney outside with the slice back to Avery, and Avery was all over it.
I feel like we all came together today, and I'm just really proud.
We both were kind of neck and neck until the end of the third, so I think it was just very fun. It was very intense, and although they pulled out the win, I think we both did very well.
Just some awesome high-level volleyball there at the Hannan Fall Classic. 4 of last week's Power 25s were involved. Let's check out this week's Power 25, and we have a new number 1, Mount Carmel. They only have 1 loss to teams in Louisiana this season. The 1 loss in Alabama came to McGill-Tulane, the perennial all-state performer over there. So Taylor Richey's squad at the top of the mountain, followed by St. Michael, who received the other 2 first-place votes. Dominican had 2 losses this week, lost to Chappelle, and as we just showed you, lost to Hannan in the finals of that Fall Classic. They dropped to number 3. Haynes and Slidell remain at 4 and 5, respectively. Hannan moves up 2 spots after a 7-0 week. Unbelievable. Now at 6. St. Thomas More, the mighty have fallen. Another 2 losses for St. Thomas More, proving they are human. They fall in at number 7 this week. U-High +1. They're into the 8th position. Country Day dropped 2 games this year. This week, they have fallen to number 9, and SSA moves up 2. Now, St. Scholastica is in the top 10. 11 through 25 look like this. Dunham, John Curtis, E.D. White. 14 is Parkview Baptist, the biggest jump this week. They went up 4. Same spot for WCA and Newman and North Shore. They fall 3 spots after a couple losses this week. They're in at 17. Fontainebleau down 1. North Lake Christian down 1. Turling's Catholic up 1 into the 20th position. 21st is CE Bird. 22nd, Dutchtown back into the Power 25 after a week not being ranked. Natchitoches Central is up 2. There's Central Catholic and Chappelle. What a bizarre week for Chappelle, both tied at 24. Chappelle beats Dominican and then inexplicably goes 0-3 at the AOL tournament on Saturday, losing to 3 unranked teams. Now let's go all the way back to the top. That's right, all the way to the top of the Power 25, where we bring in the head coach, Taylor Richey, of the new number 1 team, Mount Carmel, getting 7 of the 9 first-place votes across the state, Coach. And you said you've been using that Power 25 as motivation for your team.
I have, yes. Every week I send it to them and I say, this should, put a little chip on your shoulders that, people are doubting you all as being the best team in the state.
What is your reaction to being now the number one team across all 5 divisions in the VSN Go Preps Power 25?
I think every week we come out and we prove that, we are a powerful team, when we play to our best standing, we player to player, I truly do believe that we are some of the best players in the state.
Let's talk about some of your individual players, and we've got video from an unbelievable Red Sticker Classic at St. Joe's where you just tore through the field. I think went 5-0 at that tournament. I know we start with the outsides, and we talk about Annabelle LeBure and what she's been able to do, and Lila Franovich, just an absolute terminator. Talk about those 2 players really starting this whole thing, and then we'll get to your middles and your unbelievable DS as well.
Yes. So our outsides, they're truly fabulous. I mean, they both offer 2 completely different things. We always say Lila is more of, the power, go up, swing hard, and Annabelle is a lot of finesse. Not that she doesn't swing hard, because she truly does, but she has a lot of finesse. She can see the court. She is a beach player. She is committed to play beach. So she can hit almost every spot on that court and just has that finesse of the game. And both of them, they come out and probably give us 10 to 12 kills every single match. And that's on the low side there. They truly just carry the chaos.
We're watching some of the video. We just saw a great dump by your sophomore setter, and Sarah Clement has done so well this year and matured each and every game. I want you to talk about her, but also the middles too. We saw a Gabby Lacasio kill. Her and Allison Como have just been beast up the middle.
Yeah, so we'll start with Sarah. Sarah truly, she just takes constructive criticism, and that's what we were just telling her, because we are always riding her and always critiquing something that she does, which, I mean, she touches the ball every single time. So, there's going to be a lot, especially as a sophomore, learning and trying to play at a high level. She just handles the constructive criticism, I mean, incredibly, and takes it. She listens. She's always making adjustments and just, playing at the high level that we expect her to play at. We've been really working on feeding our middles. Our middles truly have been really stepping up to the plate. And, I've been preaching to them, and Sarah, just telling them, if we are going to be successful at the end of the season, it is because we run our middles and we get our middles involved. Because, everybody knows we're pin heavy. So everybody's expecting, it to go to the outside, So I'm like, if we start getting those middle involved, now we open up the middles to swing, then people start sticking with the middles, then we open up the outside. So, just trying to really move the ball around and make it hard for our opponents to know who we're going to.
LSU has those DBU shirts. I know Sanders Offner, who does the play-by-play this year on VSN for Mount Carmel Volleyball, he wants to get DSU made up T-shirts for Mount Carmel, the way his daughter Allie Offner, Mia Lopez, Emma Palermo, just to name the top 3. Literally all 3 of those individuals I just named could play libero. What is it like to have literally 3 liberos in the back row at times, and how would you assess your defensive play this year?
Yeah, so it's truly just a calm feeling, especially on serve receive. That's what I always tell them. I'm like, when I see them 3 back there on serve receive, I'm like, it's a breathing moment, and you'll hear me shout. I'm like, it's a routine play right here. You pass the ball, you do what you do, and we are going to put the ball away. So it's truly a great feeling just have them 3 on our roster, and me and Emma will truly be missed next year. And that little trio, they always say defense on top. Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships.
It does.
And so far, that's probably about the only thing lacking in your 2+ years as the head coach at Mount Carmel. 26-2 right now, Taylor. And the one loss was to a perennial state champion in Alabama, McGill Tulane.
Yes.
Last year, 38 wins. Your rookie year as a head coach, 35 wins. So if my math is correct, you're going for career win number 100 tonight against East Jefferson, senior night. What would 100 wins already this early in your head coaching career mean to you?
Yeah, it feels great, and it's just more. I just focus on the girls and just trying to get them to play at a higher level and learn the game, volleyball IQ. But it feels great, for them responding and listening and actually learning.
So tomorrow, the pink game. And that's all you have to say around the state when Mount Carmel and Dominican get together for their respective pink games. Of course, you'll go there a little bit later in the month. I mean, it is on. And nowhere in the state can compare to the atmosphere of the pink game between Mount Carmel and Dominican. The last 2 years that you've been head coach, you've split. You've won one at home and you've won one there. And they have done vice versa. So set us up, I guess, first of all, as a head coach, what is it like coaching in the pink game? And tell me about the matchup with Dominican. Will be the first time you two see each other on the court.
Yeah. So it's a grudge match, and that's what we've just been talking about. That this is your first time seeing them since they kept you from a state final. You just need to go out. You need to keep a level head. You need to stay calm, especially it's loud in there. I mean, you may know better than I do. Maybe like 2,500 people packed into that gym. It's loud. It's a rowdy atmosphere. It's hot. We're just focusing on staying level head, not getting into our heads, not letting outside sources get into us. And it's truly a fun and just special event to be able to play in and be able to raise money for breast cancer and for people going through this horrible disease.
Yeah, and I know David Mocklin does kind of gives an update every year on the money raised and reminds everyone what we're doing and where the money is going for it and staying local. I know that's a big thing as well. So certainly that is a huge factor in this as well. And I think both schools do an excellent job of making sure people are aware of breast cancer awareness for these games. But as far as I guess, coaching this game, what do you tell your players? And I know they've obviously seen it or been a part of it already, but the mind games that somehow creep into this game, and sometimes it's the team that you don't expect to win that dominates, and there are just some inexplicable finishes, and you're just like, wow, this rivalry you can't even put a gauge on it. As the head coach, how do you go about focusing your team and going about a game plan against one of the best teams in the state?
So we just take 1 point at a time. We take 1 point at a time, and like I preach to them, 1 point at a time. You give 110% effort, and between whistle blows, and everybody's feeling the adrenaline. Everybody, I try to get them to turn using the nervous statement into excitement. We don't need to be nervous. We're excited. It's not nerves. It's excitement. You're excited for this. So if we can just switch that mindset into, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, to, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. And then I really just preach to them at the end of the day, this is a game. This is a game to raise awareness, girls. We win or we lose, there is a bigger cause that we are hosting this for, to try to just, clear a little bit of that excitement and nerves off of them and get them to really know what, we are playing for.
Excellent. Well put. I guess if you can, before we let you go, I guess kind of assess yourself, I guess, as a head coach and learning as you go, right? It's hard to believe you're only in your third year as a head coach. I know you were an assistant under April Hagedorn, for at least a decade, right? But now that you're the top dog of this, blue blood program, how would you say, what has been the biggest challenge for you, and what are you most proud of in your own growth and improvement as a head coach?
So the main thing I think a lot is I pray a lot, and the main prayer that I pray is just to let the Lord guide me to be the woman and the coach that these girls need in every given moment. And I just think, that allows me to kind of just stay rested, that, I know that I'm doing my best to be the woman and the coach that they need me to be in any given moment. And it kind of keeps me calm at times when I want to, lose it on them in any given moment. I'm like, okay, that's not what they need right now. What they need is for you to just be calm and for you to lead. And, I try to really stand big on that and just letting the Lord guide me to be who they need me to be.
Love it. Love it. Wish you the best. Good luck tonight and congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, Vegas has you guys as a slight favorite tonight against EJ, but if you get that 100th win tonight, and I don't want to jinx you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck tomorrow against Dominican in the pink game. We'll be there. VSN will be live streaming, and we're super excited. And thank you for allowing us to broadcast and live stream that game. Now this will be our 7th consecutive year at Mount Carmel during the pink game, and there's no bigger game in the state.
There's not.
Thanks again for being with
Thank
us, and
you.
good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
You got it. I want to thank she was Taylor Richey, third-year head coach at Mount Carmel. And before we close out the high school segment, we want to tell you about a player on Ascension Catholic that we saw on VSN Monday night. Ava Landry stole the hearts of many people last season when she tore her ACL right at the very end of the state semifinal game in a loss against Westminster Christian. Part of what just got to everybody emotionally was seeing just a look of pain and anguish on her face and tears as she was carried off the court and onto the bench, again, with the score at 23-14, I believe, in the third set. The second half of that story, probably the best display of sportsmanship I've seen in my sportscasting career in 35 years, especially covering high school volleyball. Westminster Christian, right after the handshake line, decided to not go over and celebrate with their own family and friends and fans. They went straight over to Ava Landry, and led by All-State Senior Middle Bethany Stute, they prayed with her. And it's a story that we'd love to update now because 730,000 views when we showed this video last season during the state semifinal. And now we have an update, and we're happy to say Ava Landry is back doing what she loves.
They took 2 tendons from my hamstring and they attached it and made me a new ACL, complete new ACL. I have 2 screws right here and then a metal hook up here on my thigh.
And there's your introduction to Ava Landry's newly constructed left knee, the one that has 5 scars from surgery.
Dogs on 3! 1, 2, 3, dogs!
And there she is back on the court for Ascension Catholic, 11 months since tearing her ACL in the state semifinals. The situation in the game itself at the Cajun Dome was already bleak that day. The Bulldogs losing to Westminster Christian, just 2 points away from their season ending, and then...
And I go and I jump, and when I land, my knee pops out of socket, and I fell to the ground. I instantly start crying. I knew something was wrong.
It was definitely like gut-wrenching. Like whenever she went down, I was just like shocked. Like we all started crying.
Help would come from unexpected sources that day for Ava, like from public address announcer John Chatelier.
I just remember seeing a girl go down, and as soon as she went down, who I am, I go to the issue, see what's going on, which way I can help, and I just picked her up and brought her to the sideline.
So I remember them telling me like not to move, that they're gonna get me to the bench and see what's wrong, and I remember almost like panicking, really. I was really nervous.
With Ava in tears watching from the bench, the game ended moments later. Ascension Catholic season was over. 1 win away from playing in the state championship. But before their opponents celebrated with their own family and friends, something beautiful happened. One by one, the Crusader players went to console Ava, led by All-State Middle Bethany Stute.
It was just like in that moment, God turned me around, directed my steps back to her. We were all kneeling down, everyone was holding hands, just praying over someone who we didn't know if that was her last time playing the game that she loved.
I really loved how they did that for me. I loved how they cared, even though they had just won the game and they were going to the finals, but they didn't focus on celebrating themselves and the team. The first thing they did was came to me and they prayed over me, so that was very selfless of them.
And the sportsmanship that they showed her raised her spirits at that moment.
Originally, Ava was misdiagnosed with just a dislocated knee, but after a month, the pain still hadn't gone away. It wasn't until January that an MRI revealed a torn ACL, and the rehab process to play in her senior season was underway.
The first couple months, I really struggled because I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. I was on crutches. I really struggled. I was going to PT 3 to 4 times a week for 2 hours. It was really hard.
Ava's original release date to return to volleyball was October 24th, but over a month early, on September 15th, she was back.
The mental block was there a little bit, like, because I am different. I have a whole new leg. I am a different person. I'm a different player. So just figuring out that was definitely difficult, and it still is. Like, I still struggle with the, am I going to get hurt? And it's all this work that I put in just going to get taken away in a second.
So at the beginning, when she first came back, it affected her a little bit. You could see it was in her mind. Eventually, it went away to where she just forgot about her leg, her knee, and she played like she has in the past.
She's definitely one of the strongest people I know. Like, watching her go through that, I'm like, I could never personally do that. So proud of her.
Probably the hardest I've ever worked in my entire life to get back. Now that I'm back, I'm so happy that I worked as hard as I can to get back.
I've been around Ava since she was a freshman play, and so her coming back was a very great, and it was a very emotional moment just to see her get back on the court for her last year.
And I'm so incredibly grateful that God heard her prayers and was able to heal her, and now she is back to playing.
At that point, she may have felt that, hey, the pieces are falling apart, but they weren't. They were falling into place. So that's where the big thing I want to tell her is, even when you think your life is falling apart, no, it's God's way of putting things in place.
For all of your insurance needs, call Allstate agent Greg Bravata. Auto, home, life, and retirement, Greg has a plan that's right for you. Allstate agent Greg Bravata, a proud supporter of the area volleyball scene. The Sports Pub and Grill in Destrehan has it all. A great place to watch the game, daily drink specials, and you won't believe the food. From our fresh 10-ounce burgers, fully loaded baked potatoes, and great salads too, like taco salad and grilled chicken. Need something to rinse it down with? How about one of our refreshing daiquiris? A great atmosphere for the whole family. Just a few miles west of the airport. The Sports Pub and Grill, 3001 Ormond Boulevard in Destrehan. Range Fit's premium electrolyte blend elevates the standard in hydration, delivering both incredible taste and powerful effectiveness. Zero sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's the perfect balance of performance and flavor. Go to rangefit.com, use code DIGGINIT15 at checkout for 15% off. Before we go any further, we want to acknowledge one of the friends of Diggin' It with Eric Richey, talking about H-Worth Elevator Services. They get the job done not only in Louisiana, but also Mississippi. Great friends of Diggin' It with Eric Richey, great supporters of volleyball. Speaking of volleyball, let's get into the college scene. And for that, it's a good guest. It's a guy that I've wanted to have on all season. And for that, we head to Natchitoches, Louisiana, and bring in first-year Northwestern State head coach Ben Kaszeta. Coach Ben, a friend of the show. We've been friends since your days at Cajun Elite and Louisiana Lafayette, and here you are up in northern Louisiana now. Welcome to the program, and thanks for joining us here on Diggin' It with Eric Richey.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it very much. It's an honor to be here.
Well, listen, let's talk a little bit about this season right now. And, you know, when I ask you to be on the show, you're like, you know, what do you want me to talk about? So, to me, this is an interesting scenario because you're an excellent coach. You've had success everywhere you've gone. You had just look last year as an assistant, the 1-year turnaround at Lamar. Now you're the head coach at Northwestern State. You jump out, you win your season opener against Tennessee State, and that's been it. 19 straight losses have followed, and I know times are tough right now, and your job as a coach is to right the ship in the middle of the tornado, and what a challenge it's been for you. I want to ask you what it's like right now. How are your players responding, and how are you been able to keep them focused and keep them looking forward and engaged and sticking with the program?
But the first part I would say is it's hard. It's funny because even the teams that are winning and everything else talks about the fact that winning is hard. You have to lose, you have to learn, you have to do enough of this other stuff to get us to a point that we're ready to win. And it's a tough thing. The biggest part we've focused on, and even Taylor said it a little bit ago, is it's trying to focus on the process. What does it take to get us to the points to be able to go win? Not just the other part, because if you sit there and hold this up forever, it feels great right now, but after an hour of holding my hands here or doing something else, it starts to weigh and it starts to weigh and it starts to weigh, and we keep putting this win as the almighty and the biggest thing up there, and it weighs on us. And it's weighing, and it's the fact that everyone else is talking about it. They're like, oh, when are you guys going to get it? It weighs. So we're doing the best we can to focus on the process. Okay, what do we have to do to get better? We started off missing way too many serves, and our hitting percentage was in the negative the first couple of times. So as we focus on the little parts, we keep getting closer and closer. Literally in and out of some of the matches, we're 22. We got to against Corpus, who won the conference last year. We got to 20 before them in 2 out of the 3 games.
Yeah,
so we're making progress.
Yes,
we just aren't able to get over a hump of it. And luckily, I've got a group of kids that still want it. They haven't rebelled. They're not fighting with each other, and they're not screaming at each other. They're not being stupid. They are bought into this process of each other, loving each other, trying to learn how to communicate with each other, trying to learn how to do all the good things. Because you said it great. We're in a storm. The tornado is touched down, and it runs and it throws this thing at you and that thing at you, and all of a sudden you feel like you're starting to go the right way, and then something else comes flying into you, and it becomes funny. We just watched, me and assistant had the movie Twister on in the hotel room this weekend, and you're sitting there. That was a cow. And the cow comes by and he's like, that's another cow. And like, actually, I think it was the same cow. So it's funny. It's one of these things. We are definitely in the storm, but they're trying.
I think it's excellent that you said that all these girls are still engaged. They still want it, right? That competitive fire is still there despite the end results, which you say, again, sometimes we focus on it too much. Let's talk about some individuals who have in your opinion, have helped lead this team and kept them focused, and highlight some of the players that are doing well for the Lady Demons right now.
Well, we go in spots, we go in streaks of it, but in the middle of the court, one of the kids that's going to graduate there, the girl named Samaya Weston has done a great job of just being consistent. She always finds a way, and it's hard to score in the middle, but she seems to find a way to just go and score. Our libero, that actually hit outside this weekend in one of our matches, but the libero, little Emery McFarland, has never played libero before in her life until this year. She was an outside hitter. She was recruited as that, but she has been steady as a rock, just leading and going and playing hard. And with the block of Samaya and the steadiness of Emery in the back row, they keep us at least moving. And their competitive spirit just makes us go. So having the steadiness of those two has made a big difference. Again, one of them's a freshman and one of them's going to graduate as a senior. So having an opposite end of the spectrum of where they are, like in theory, maturity-wise, it's been a blessing to have at least one feisty little libero going to firing and one middle trying as hard as she can to keep us focused. So I could start with those two, but there's so many other little pieces in and out of there. We have a transfer setter that's leading the league in aces. That's coming in. Her name is Jade Longlad. She's from Canada, and she's literally leading the league in aces, and just a steady face as that. So we have little highlights.
Love it.
It feels like one day we're doing really well, and we can't hit a ball on the court, and then we're hitting really well, but we get aced and we're passing bad. So there's always an obstacle in front of us that we have to find a way to get through. But yeah, we're getting there.
I love it. I notice, and every time I have a college coach on, whether it's a beach coach or an indoor coach, I'm going to look at that roster and go right for the Louisiana players, right? And I see 3 Louisiana players that we've covered quite a bit, 2 of them anyway, on your roster. All 3 of these Louisiana players are freshmen. Julia Whitfield from SSA, the big 6-foot blocker. Riley Schubert, another 6-footer on the outside or right side. Yep. And then Harper Cawley, we didn't get to see her much down here, but a great libero in Ruston. Tell me about those 3 Louisiana players, and on the back half, recruiting in the state of Louisiana, where you are so dialed in from your days with Cajun Elite.
It's been fun. That was one of the first things I came, and even the president said, "Hey, how come we don't have any Louisiana kids?" He's from downstate. He's from just outside of Lafayette. He was a district judge and other stuff. She's like, "Hey, can we change that a little bit?" I'm like, "Absolutely. I love having Louisiana kids."
Good.
So that's one of the things that's kind of been on my heart a little bit. So I think sometimes we get overlooked down there. So I came in and I was like, okay, let's start making phone calls. Let's see who's available to come in and out. I've known the Cawley family for a long time. The mom is a high school coach. She played at La Tech. Somebody who has been around the sport of volleyball and running a club and doing things for a long time. I tried to help her as a young lady find a place to go and play beforehand.
Yeah.
And then when I got up here, she's still available. And it was one of the first things I did. I went and actually took a chance with my dog and went with my dog and watched the club practice and sat and talked to her afterwards and said, hey, if we want to make this for real, come on over, come visit. We'd love to have you.
That's great. And then Riley and Julia, players that, we cover Hannan and SSA quite a bit down here.
Absolutely. So Riley is the lefty that was supposed to go somewhere else and just didn't work out academically with the scholarships and other stuff. Jeremy White's a good friend, a great friend, and he coached her in club and called me up and said, hey, this is a kid who's a great kid. She might need a little year to develop, and this is going to be her redshirt year. So she comes in with practice every day. She contributes. She tries as hard as she can to make us better in practice. And I think developmentally this year for her to be able to redshirt and learn will be huge for her in the future. Julia, a little bit different, came in and has made an impact right off the bat. She has made an impact as a blocker. She has made an impact playing both right side and in middle. She has played in almost every match. I think there's only one or two matches she hasn't. And she is just a positive ball of energy all the time. She's, okay, coach, I got it. Okay, yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, Julia, can you do this? Yes, I got it. She's just an incredible young lady who goes at everything. Makes a bunch of mistakes, but that's what freshmen are supposed to do.
That's great. That's great.
Go make those mistakes and go after it hard. So
yeah, that's a good incoming freshman class with a lot of obvious Louisiana flavor there. Looking forward to that. Let's talk about the message moving forward as you get towards the back half of conference play. I think McNeese State on Wednesday at home, and then on the road down here in Thibodaux, taking on Nichols on Saturday. What's the message to your players? And I know they're not only hungry to get a win, they want a conference win. They're ready to beat a McNeese State or beat a Nichols.
For us, it's stay the course because we are making progress. And we just got a tails kicked by New Orleans on Saturday. And even looking at that afterwards, it feels bad. But afterwards, we look at it like, oh, well, we actually had somebody hitting over, not just over 100 and 200. We had two kids that hit over 500. We haven't had that all season.
I saw UNO had like 50 kills in the game. They were like, their hitting percentage was crazy.
And defense has been our strong suit everywhere along. But for some reason, when we're finally hitting, our defense folded. So it's literally stay the course. Find a way to stay focused in the long point. So we've used that the quote a bunch, and I've said it a bunch, and we wrote it on the board last week. Is hey, you can't change the whole story, but you can start right now and you can change the ending. So we're going to focus that through and say, okay, what do we have to do right now to make sure that we're going to get better, that we're going to come together, that we're going to do the things for us in order to be successful. So we're just focusing on the now, stay in the moment. What did we do this weekend? How can we still improve? Again, Samaya and our lefty Olivia both hit over 500 this weekend.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've had that all season.
All season.
But if we focus on just the fact that we lost or just the overall score, we would be spinning way out of control. So we have to take the little victories. We have to grab those little victories and grab onto those things as much as we can and say, hey, we're doing the right things. We will see the benefit of it in the long run.
I love it. In your career, obviously you're a Michigan man. You're from Michigan, I think Eastern Michigan. And then you've coached collegiately or high school. You've started like 3 different clubs. On the high school level, your winning percentage was just under 800. You had over 150 wins in 6 years. You've been a head coach, I think, at 4 different places collegiately, assistant at many, including big turnarounds with the Raging Cajuns. And as we just said earlier at Lamar, when you look back at your body of work, and I know you have such a tremendous array of relationships with coaches all across the country, all you got to do is look at the summer schedule at Cajun Elite, all the coaches clinics that you were continuously bringing in, these guys that were, great coaches themselves. Who would you say would be your biggest mentor as a coach during your career?
Oh, that list is long, but if I were to pick 2 right off the bat, there's a guy named Terry Gamble he was a head coach at McNeese when I first came to Louisiana in 2010, I think.
Yep.
2009, 10. Him is the first person, and then there's a lady named Kim Barrington that was the head coach at Eastern Michigan. She's in 2 or 3 Hall of Fames. Those are the first 2 that I would pick up. And anytime I've had a struggle, and I've called Terry 5 or 6 times this year, like, okay, where's here? Okay,
yeah.
Hey, will you watch our film and tell me what you see? And he'll be like, okay, fix this. And so there's a bunch of them. There's a lot. I still called and talked to Jeremy White 4 or 5 times this season. And there's a lot of those people. If we don't rely on coaches and think we don't rely on our network, then we're being dumb enough to be able to say, okay, but that's what we ask our team to go do. I ask my team to rely on each other, to rely on us. I have to have my team to be able to go to too. But the first two, right off the bat, Terry Gamble and Kim Barrington were the two people that taught me the most. But Heather Mazetas came to our game on against Southeastern. She's living in Baton Rouge and
Nice.
loving what she's doing. And she came in and gave me a big hug, said hi to the team for a minute, and told them that I was our former assistant, and said, keep your chin up, keep fighting. I love what you guys are doing. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of people that are a part of that story that are just incredible volleyball people. More importantly, better people, incredible volleyball people across that. So,
well, I appreciate that answer. And we've had mad respect for you from the time that we met on the club scene back when my daughter was, I think, playing 14U, but some great rivalries throughout the years, and loved what you and Coach Waylon Young were able to do with Cajun Elite. And now we're pulling for you, man. You got a big fan base down here. Every week when we close this segment, I put the standings and what teams did in the state of Louisiana, and I got you. And I keep thinking about you. I'm like, I'm going to have Coach Ben on. And I want him to talk about it. And I know you are going to
move up that standing chart at some point.
I like that.
I like that for kids.
Yes,
they work hard.
Every Monday morning, I get that standing together, and we'll close this segment out, and you'll see Northwestern State 1-19. But as you just heard in these last 10 minutes from Coach Ben Kaszeta, they are going to be trending up in the not too distant future. Coach, thanks so much for having us and being on the show. Good luck to you. Let's start with McNeese, and then let's get Nichols, and one at a time. But good luck to you, and way to stay the course and keep those players focused and believing in your system.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.
You got it. All right, time for us to take a break. Still to come are young MCs. That's right, milestones and commitments. But we leave you, as we said, with the standings of college volleyball in the state of Louisiana. We're back after this. Local, family-owned H. Worth Elevator Service is the name you should choose when it comes to your commercial or residential elevator needs. We offer elevator installation, repair, and maintenance services. Choose professional elevator contractors in Kenner, licensed and insured. 24/7 emergency services available, warranties available. Backed by over 4 generations of elevator mechanics. Call H. Worth Elevator Service for your elevator needs. Range Fit's premium electrolyte blend elevates the standard in hydration, delivering both incredible taste and powerful effectiveness. Zero sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's the perfect balance of performance and flavor. Go to rangefit.com, use code DIGGINIT15 at checkout for 15% off. For all of your insurance needs, call Allstate agent Greg Bravada. Auto, home, life, and retirement, Greg has a plan that's right for you. Allstate agent Greg Bravada, a proud supporter of the area volleyball scene.
What I love about this place and most proud of this place is this community. Take a look around, this place is fantastic. Everything we do here is with passion. What separates White Sands from other places is the vibe. The community, the people, everyone here is family. See you on the sand at White Sands Seeker Sandbar.
Hey, let's dive into the sand for our beach volleyball segment. It's brought to you by Seeker Sandbar at White Sands Volleyball Complex. Always a good time at White Sands. We're right at the beginning of the collegiate fall season, and maybe no team in the state of Louisiana has a more important road to navigate this fall than UNO. As Paul Boron reports, the Privateers have had 4 head coaches since 2020. This team this fall looking for stability and success.
The University of New Orleans beach volleyball team is coming off of back-to-back losing seasons, including just 5 wins in 2025. So why is there so much energy around this Privateer program?
Line 1 out! Yes!
It stands in a much higher place than it did a year ago. When I came on, it was about 2 weeks before the semester started last year. We kind of went through it in the fall, just building up the roster. But now year 2, coming out of our first fall tournament, a lot of promising stuff. More wins, more set wins, more match wins than last year. I think long term, all that's gonna help make this more of a sustainable program.
This team has been through adversity. This year is super exciting. Everyone on the team has so much drive and so much potential, and it's just putting it all together. And keeping our standards high is a big thing for us.
Coach Ryan Havis has brought a positivity and winning experience to the lakefront. He came to New Orleans last year from Hendrix College in Arkansas, where his squad won the 2023 Small College National Championship.
I really just love his mindset and his attitude approaching practices and game days. He's like really calm, cool, and collected, so he just brings a sense of peace to the team, and it's just like really great learning from him because he's very knowledgeable.
He is such a good teacher. I have learned so much in the past 2 years, like beyond what I have ever learned before playing beach.
I really love the positivity, and I really feel like he is constantly willing to push us. Like if I'm having a day where I'm just like, oh, I had a bad practice, like let me come in and get some extra reps. Like he's really always willing to give that to us.
The new UNO energy is also partly because of new additions to the roster. 7 freshmen have joined the Privateers, including an in-state star from St. Joseph's Academy, Molly Perry.
I kind of fell in love with the team whenever I originally visited here. It's obviously a new team, but it's still the same. I like how everyone just has the same goal, and everyone was just super welcoming, especially whenever I first visited. That was really my main reason.
So as you've heard, this Privateer Beach volleyball team believes good things are on the horizon. And one thing is for sure, when you come out and watch this UNO team, they will be among the grittiest you will see anywhere.
I want to be known as a team that just never gives up, will be the sandiest, and I think we're going to go far.
I expect for us to be very scrappy, and just we're the underdogs going into things, so just look out for us.
It's great to hear that. I love it when they're getting sandy. I love it when they're making plays. I love the enthusiasm I see out there, and yeah, it's fun to see kind of what we, when we look back what we had and where we are and where we're going to be in a year or two from now.
Things are looking up at UNO as the Privateers look to parlay a fruitful fall into a strong spring. In New Orleans, I'm Paul Boron for VSN.
What I love about this place and most proud of this place is this community. Take a look around, this place is fantastic. Everything we do here is with passion. What separates White Sands from other places is the vibe. The community, the people, everyone here is family. See you on the sand at White Sands Secret Sandbar.
Local, family-owned H. Worth Elevator Service is the name you should choose when it comes to your commercial or residential elevator needs. We offer elevator installation, repair, and maintenance services. Choose professional elevator contractors in Kenner, licensed and insured. 24/7 emergency services available, warranties available. Backed by over 4 generations of elevator mechanics. Call H. Worth Elevator Service for your elevator needs. It's time for some Diggin' It Young MCs, Milestones and Commitments. And the milestones dominate this week, like at Slidell, where senior setter Ava Labat reaches 4,000 career assists. And Ava Barduca gets her 1,000th career kill, all in the same game. Congratulations to both. Ditto for John Curtis Terminator Michaela Mortar. She too now a member of the 1,000 Kills Club. Shout out to Covington's Peyton McBee for career assist number 1,000. And to Dominican libero Aurora Tortorich, 1,000 career digs.
It's very shocking. I mean, I've been here for a long time, and to finally just reach that is very just exciting for me because I've been here a long time. I've been playing since freshman year, so I think that just the hard work's paid off, and it's very exciting.
Remember, if you know a young MC that we missed, email us at eric@varsitysportsnow.com with your favorite player's milestone or college commitment. That will do it for another edition of Diggin' It with Eric Richey. Want to thank our guests. We had 2 great ones. Mount Carmel head coach Taylor Rishu and Northwestern State University first-year head coach Ben Kaszeta. For our director, Justin Thomas, our graphics expert, Emma Ritchie, I'm Eric Richey saying so long, everyone, and thanks for helping us celebrate the sport of volleyball. Diggin' It with Eric Richey is brought to you by